Hi, I'm Alan Bresnik for Light Reading. We're in Denver at our Cable Next Gen Technologies and Strategies Conference, and I'm speaking to John Baldry from Infinera. Hi, John.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, you just gave an interesting, really interesting keynote about cable's role with DAA and mobile services, which we haven't heard a lot about. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously within the global global cable market, there's certain cable operators who have been in the mobile space for many years, providing wholesale services for local mobile operators. But with the move to DAA and the push of fiber deeper out into the access network, that really sort of creates an opportunity for those those operators to extend the service types they offer and address the 5G opportunity, but also potentially for other cable operators, it gives them an opportunity to use that fiber asset to support 5G, because 5G is going to need a lot of fiber. And whilst mobile operators would love to have their own fiber everywhere, the economics of that don't often work out, and there's a good wholesale opportunity for people who have the right fiber in the right place.
That's interesting, because we've been having a debate here about whether 5G is more of a threat to cable or more of an asset for cable. What's your view of that?
Well, it's potentially a little bit of both, isn't it? I mean, if you're sort of in that residential space, then you could view some of the early sort of enhanced mobile broadband type services as being a threat. But equally, there is an opportunity to provide connectivity to those mobile operators, or even potentially use the same sort of services yourself to address outside of your own footprint, maybe to reach beyond where your existing coax footprint goes. That's another potential opportunity.
So how will deploying distributed access architecture help cable operators serve 5G?
So a lot of it is actually, if you look at the way the two industries are going, there's obviously a lot of differences, but the general architectures are actually coming much closer together. So if you look at a DAA network and you look at a 5G network, there's a lot of similarities about where fiber is being pushed to, the fact that you've got the within the 5G world, the original functionality in a baseband unit in a 4G network is now split into multiple different units, a centralized unit and a distributed unit, is not that dissimilar to how a sort of remote PHY or remote MAC-PHY device works. Obviously the end access is different, it's over the air instead of over copper, over coax, sorry. But you end up with a very similar architecture. And also quite often they're in a very similar location, so there's an opportunity there to really sort of take advantage of the two. And many cable operators are already doing this with their SYN type networks, where they're looking at one network that's built around DAA, but as a sort of multi-service platform for them to roll many different service types from.
Really? Or can you give any examples of cable operators actually doing that for wireless service?
I can't name them specifically, but there are multiple cable operators at the moment who, as part of their DAA activity, are architecting it as a SYN network and are reaching out to the vendor community at the moment, sort of looking at how can they build those SYN type architectures. So that's the stage they're at the moment, is really sort of planning and taking bids from equipment vendors. I think the rollouts will be starting probably 2020, that kind of time period. But a lot of those operators are the ones who are already doing mobile backhaul services and that kind of thing, and they're looking at how can we build these as one single network rather than different overlay type networks for different services that they've had in the past.
Do you expect to see more early activity in North America or in Europe, or some shared both?
Who will be first, I wouldn't like to say, but we're seeing activity in both.
Okay. John, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Alan.
Sure.